Hello, good afternoon. My name is MJ. Namaskar, thank you for coming. So today's class will be mostly on shoulders and hips, just a little bit on shoulders, mostly on the hips, and then we'll cover some more joints in the body at the same time. So we'll start out by anchoring our feet into Mother Earth, spreading them so that they're hip width apart, and then pressing them into the earth and gently swaying forwards and backwards and setting the breath to that motion. So setting up a little duet with the breath superimposed on gliding forward and gliding backwards. Inhaling and exhaling as we're moving from the front to the back. And then settling right in the center of the foot. So in the center of the foot is the arch or the bridge. So feeling that. And then growing the mountain upwards towards the clear blue sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And anchoring into that Mother Earth. Pulling the shoulders back away from the heart. Pulling the stomach in. Pulling the tailbone in. Growing towards the light. So today we're going to begin with the breath of joy. Breath of joy has 3 inhales and then 1 long exhale. So I want to demonstrate it first so the arms come forward. Inhaling, open, inhaling, up and inhaling, and exhaling down. So we're bending in the knees, and then we come up and we begin all over again with sniffing in, sniffing in, sniffing in, and exhaling. So here we go. Just like an orchestra that we're conducting the universe. Front, open, up, down. One more time, open, up, and down. Coming back with the hands at the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling all those cells of the body being energized and oxygenated. And all their smiling faces are looking up at you. So we want all the cells to be well. So then we're going to inhale this mudra of perfect harmony into the heart. Exhale it into the world, sending that wish for perfect balance into the world. Opening the arms. Basking in the sun, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring the wingtips together and back to the heart, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and opening, basking in the sun once again. So this is the robin. So Sometimes the robins are like this in the morning, singing, and then exhaling, the wings closed. Inhaling, bringing them into the heart. Inhaling again, exhaling into the world. Inhaling and opening. And so as we're here in Robin, we're going to take the palms and have them facing upwards. And then we're going to turn until their back sides are up. Inhaling them towards the front and the palms are up. Exhaling around into the back and the palms are up again. Inhaling, rotating them around so the palms are up. So feeling that in the scapula in your back. What's happening to the shoulders, what's happening to the back, and then bringing them up. Big inhale, bringing the hands together, bringing them into the heart. So then we'll drop the hands down. We're going to bring this left hand up on a diagonal. Inhaling it over the head, shifting in the hips, and bringing that hand down behind us. Exhaling, bringing it around the front. Inhaling up on a diagonal, integrating those two hemispheres of the brain, shifting and coming to the side. Bringing the arm down in the back. And then we'll do this one more time, inhaling it up, shifting in the hips, and then exhaling the arm behind us. Coming to the front, and then we'll bring the other arm up, inhaling the other arm up, shifting in the hips, and then bringing it down behind. And bringing it around on a diagonal, so it's crossing the midline, and then exhaling the arm behind us. Inhaling and turning around, coming up again. Shifting to the side and bringing that arm down behind us. And this time we'll bring both arms up and behind. It's just like we're doing a backstroke. Bringing both the arms up and behind. Inhaling up. Exhaling as they go behind. Inhaling as they come up. Exhaling behind, and then we're going to reverse directions, going backwards and forwards, backwards and to the front, backwards and to the front, and one more time, backwards and to the front, and bringing the hands down to the heart, closing the eyes, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking these hands up, growing straight and tall up into the mountain, and then opening the hands, exhaling at the hips, and coming down to the earth. Bending the knees a little bit because we want to touch Mother Earth here. And then sweeping the arms out to the sides, coming all the way up into snow-capped mountain. Breathing in, breathing out, imagining that mountain against the blue sky with that spring snow on it, and then exhaling and coming down. So we're having springtime in the Rockies now, time for expansion, time of awakening, a time of blooming and growing. So we're hanging over our hips for a breath or two. Inhaling, the hands coming back up. Forming that mountain once again. A lot of people in Colorado going out and playing on that mountain. Breathing in and then exhaling, coming forward, coming down. And as we come down this time, we'll massage Mother Earth once again before we bring our hands up in the folds of the arms. If this is uncomfortable, just hanging over like this, you can also put the elbows of the arms on the knees. So choosing what expression of this pose is best for you today. And so while we're here hanging over, we're going to turn and visit this ankle on this side, and then turn in front of the toes, and come over here and visit this ankle on this side, coming down in the middle, and over to the other ankle. And then we're going to synchronize our breath with each journey past the toes into the ankle, so that we have a little duet with the breath and the motion here. Pressing into the feet, exhaling in one direction, inhaling in the other direction. So we're getting into those muscles in the lower back, in the glutes, as we turn from side to side. Then we'll come back to the center. Take a couple of complete yogic breaths. And then dropping the hands down to the floor. Slowly inhaling and exhaling, probably several times, as we come up. Coming up. Coming up. Coming up. So as we come all the way up, we do this Captain Picard asana, pulling down the shirt, right out of Star Trek. And once again, breathing towards the sun, growing towards the sun, extending towards the sun. And then we're going to do some knee circles today. So taking the knees and making a circle with them. So we're kind of squatting down a little bit, bending those knees as we circle them from side to side. And then we change directions and go the other way. Getting that full rotation in the knees. We're also working out the ankles and the soles of the foot. And then we'll come straight up. And again, extend the body upwards, rooting the feet in the earth. Breathing in and breathing out. Sweeping the wings up into a T form and then exhaling down. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhaling up and exhaling to the side. So this is Karmasana. And on Karmasana, I'm pulling the shoulders back a little bit, so just gently, not too hard. And the hands are coming out the opposite side from which I'm leaning. Then inhaling and coming up. And exhaling, so I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Bringing my hands around the waist. And we can turn the head to look down at Mother Earth. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhaling and coming up to center. And then exhaling forward. So as we exhale forward, we're just coming into a half forward bend. Half Uttanasana. And as we do this, we can rest the hands on our tailbone, or we can come down a little further and lift the arms up. So expressing it whichever way feels comfortable to your body today. Breathing in and breathing out once again. And inhaling and coming up. Inhaling and bringing the arms out. And so then I'm going to turn to the side. So then we're going to bring the arms down, all the way down to the ground. And so this can be done in the low kneel position or in the full high kneel position, which I'm going to demonstrate this in the high kneel position because my knees don't like the low kneel. If the knees need a little bit of support, you can pull the mat underneath them. And you can also put a pillow or something underneath your legs there. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling the arms behind, interlacing the fingers. And then we're going to repeat. So again, we're going to lean to one side, pulling those shoulders back, shining that heart, trying to always default to the positive, to the light. Inhaling back up to center, exhaling, and we can look down at the floor. Trying to always fight and struggle against those negative thoughts which try to dominate the mind. Inhaling, coming back to center. And then this time we're going to go down again. So we're going to release the hands, bringing them down to the sides, and the head keeps going down. We're going to come down on the forehead, inhaling onto the crown of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Really revitalizing the brain. It's kind of like a mini headstand. Then rolling back on the forehead, inhaling and coming up with both wings. And then we'll take the right wing around behind and put it on the right heel. We're trying to square the hips because the body will naturally turn. Trying to square the hips in front of us. I have my toes curled in front. And then I make a star. This is camel pose. Camels are the ships of the desert. Smiling in the back bend. Then we'll inhale and come upright, bringing both wings up into a T position before turning to the other side. Again, squaring those hips in front and raising that star in the sky. So how can we be that light, be that brightness that shines in the darkness? So then we'll inhale back up, bringing the arms to the sides and then to the front. As we find ourselves into cat or tabletop again, we're going to lift those knees and then walk those feet back up. Exhaling those arms up into Snow-Capped Mountain, and then we'll start all over again. So I'll turn to the side, but you can face the same direction the whole time. Coming back into Namaskar Mudra, centering the body, centering the mind, breathing in and breathing out, feeling that heartbeat, and then sweeping the arms out into a T form, bringing them back together behind the back. Inhaling and extending up towards the sun, exhaling to the side. Doesn't matter which side because we'll do both sides. looking down at the earth, taking a moment to remember how fantastic Mother Earth is and all the beings that live on her. Inhaling, coming up to the center, and then exhaling, coming to the other side, noticing how the arms and hands are coming out the other side, and we're looking down at Mother Earth, making that connection with the universe, with the creation, and giving a twist to our neck at the same time. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhaling to the center, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, then we'll exhale and come forward, either stopping halfway or coming all the way down with the hands up, or resting on your tailbone once again. So whichever way you choose to express this pose today. Breathing in, breathing out. Knees are not locked into the back of the joint, so they're flexed. Bringing the hands down, inhaling as we come up. And then I'm going to turn to the side, but you can stay where you are. Coming down to the earth. And I'll be doing the high kneel version. Sweeping the arms out, exhaling them down, and once again, turning and gliding to the side, pulling those shoulders open, pulling the heart open. So we're trying to stay in the light at a time of darkness. And then inhaling, coming back to center, exhaling, coming out the other side. Trying to keep our thoughts always in the positive tense and to override the mind's tendency to try to allow the negative to dominate, coming back to center. And then as we come down, we're releasing the hands, planting those fingers in the earth. And then we're coming all the way down onto our forehead, rolling on to the top of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Energizing that whole brain network, all that neural connections, and then we'll roll down to the forehead. Inhale and come back up with the wings. And then we're going to turn to the side. One hand going to the same heel so the toes are curled under. Building that star in the sky. Being that light in the darkness. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, gentle back bend, breathing out, and then coming out with both wings to the side. And then we're going to turn to the other side, so bringing this hand down, the other wingtip in the air, building that star in the sky, and once again, shining, being that ship in the desert. Breathing in, breathing out, and then bringing both wings up. Coming down into tabletop once again. And from tabletop, we'll again lift those knees back up and walk those feet to the hands. Inhaling the hands out to the side. Exhaling, bringing them back to the heart. Then we'll stand in this position, closing the eyes, breathing in, breathing out. Then we'll turn on our mat so that our left foot is forward, pointing away from the body, and the right foot is behind us on a diagonal. So this heel of the front foot bisects the back foot. And so we're going to turn the body sideways, inhaling the wings up. So we're getting ready for Trikonasana. So finding your balance, finding your foundation, building that. And then we'll inhale a little bit forward and exhale down. So as we come down, you can grab the leg. If you have a block, you can grab that block. Or a book, if you have a book. And this upper hand can be upwards or it can be bent a little bit down. Trikonasana, how do we nurture all the three levels of our being, the physical, the mental, and the spiritual? Breathing in, breathing out. And there's a slight twist to the torso as we try to shine that heart towards the light. So in the heart chakra there resides that petal of hope. And we want to make sure that that petal of hope is refilled many times during the day. So we want to navigate our lives so that we are stepping forward and performing actions out of hope, not out of fear. So turning slightly towards the light. And inhaling back up. Coming into Sun Warrior, so one arm goes up, the left arm goes up over the body. We bend that front knee into Sun Warrior. Looking up at the sun. Moving from darkness to light. And again, we're shining that heart again, staying in the positive. And then from this posture, we're going to move the arm forward, bring it down on the knee. So the palm is facing upward, just like a satellite dish. And the back arm is rainbowing over the head. So again, return towards the light. Pressing into those feet, anchoring ourselves in Mother Earth. Breathing in and breathing out. The next time we breathe out, we're going to drop the rainbow down. The fingers are going across the floor and they're coming up the other side. Both arms are coming up. And then we're going to turn the feet so that they face the front, paralleling the feet up and bringing the hands together in front of the heart once again. Perfect balance, perfect harmony, closing the eyes, breathing in, breathing out. Taking a moment to breathe into and to take shelter in that inner stillness. The more we listen, the more we can hear what that inner voice is telling us. So how do we build a relationship with that inner light? Then we'll turn the feet in the other direction. So turning the right foot out and the left foot. And again, we have a line going from this front heel to that back arch. So building a foundation that is comfortable for us, for you today. So we're turned sideways, starting in the Namaskar Mudra position. Inhaling the arms out. Feeling your feet in your foundation. Gliding forward. And then bringing that front hand down to the front leg. And the other hand up. So we're twisting the torso again so that the heart shines towards the sun. So we're shining once again. Facing the light. Facing the sunny side of our being. So the arm again that's upwards can be straight up, or if you're feeling that it's biting your shoulders a little, you can bring it down a notch or two. Breathing in, breathing out. And then that upward facing arm will come down towards the tailbone. The other front arm will come up into Sun Warrior, and that front knee will bend. So we're holding that leg with the back hand, and we're honoring the sun in the front. Bending the knee, breathing in, breathing out, filling up that heart petal on that heart chakra, that heart flower once again. Exhaling down, bringing the hand down all the way. The elbow will come down to the knee. The hand will face up. And the back hand will rainbow over the head once again. So you can imagine all these colors coming down. And again, we're trying to turn so the torso isn't down like this. It's coming up towards the light. So there's a twist in the heart, in the torso. As we bring ourselves into the light again. And then this upper hand will start coming down, crossing the face. The fingers are pointing down towards the earth, coming out the other side. And as they come up, the other arm comes up as well. When we reach the T position, we'll parallel our feet up and drop the hands, and coming back to the heart once again. Coming back to that home of hope and pressing those thumbs into the heart, into the Anahat chakra. Trying to vibrate that petal of hope. Bringing the chin in, closing the eyes, breathing in and breathing out. Taking shelter in that inner light, reaching out and calling that inner light. So the great masters say that if you take one step towards that inner light, it has no choice but to take 100 steps towards you. So in the yoga practice, we do that. We call on that inner light. Building that connection. So then we're going to bring in the toes, the ankles, the toes and the ankles until the feet come close together. And we're going to try some things with the wall. So I cheat in yoga every chance I get because I'm over 50. And so we're going to go backwards into a wall or find a wall wherever you're at. And we're going to stand so close to the wall that our shoulders are into the wall, that our glutes are into the wall, but our feet are not. So they're close to the wall. So once we're in this position, we're going to come into chair pose first. So we're going to take 2 or 3 steps out, depends on how tall you are, to come into chair pose. And so we're not coming all the way down into chair pose. We're coming as far as the body will allow. The feet are hip width apart. And then we make the arms of the chair. So the palms can be down or they can be side to side. And our head is not into the wall. So building that chair, constructing that chair that is a place of comfort for you. We smile during this pose because it's a little strenuous. But first we need to take care of ourselves before we can take care of others. So we build that chair. Breathing into that chair, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Then we're going to drop the arms down and scooch ourselves back up. And maybe walk in a circle, walk those legs out. And then we're going to come into the chair again. So walking again, anchoring the back into the wall, bringing the feet hip-width apart, coming and sinking into our chair pose. And don't go down too low. Being mindful of the wisdom of the body. And then we're going to press the feet into the earth. And then we're going to cross our right leg over. And then we're going to inhale the arms up. And we're going to cross our left arm on top and twist the hands so that they're either backs of the hands are together, or maybe you can grab onto your palm. Inhale the arms up. Exhale them down. Eagle pose. Breathing in, breathing out, pressing the back against the wall, and then unfurling the leg, scooching back up, walking the feet back, unfurling the arms, coming all the way up into mountaintop or eagle taking off, and coming down. So then we'll move the legs and knees a little bit. And then we'll come down into chair again. And as we come down into chair, we're going to slip the other arms out, put the other arm on top, cross the arms in an X, and then either bring them right together, or some of you may be able to bring the bottom hand to the palm of the front. So whichever way. And then we're going to take the opposite leg and cross it over. And sink down into chair pose, but not too far again. Trying to make the pose user-friendly to the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and then undoing the legs, unfurling the arms, bring them all the way up over the head and down. Bringing the hands back to the heart and resting, closing the eyes. Breathing in. Breathing out. And once again, you may feel or hear the beating of the heart. Calling on that inner light, that inner voice. As we pause for a moment to recalibrate the breath, to integrate the asana into the mind-body. Breathing that spirit of the eagle into our mind-body. And then once again, we'll come down to the mat. down to the mat into a turtle position. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Again, the feet can be close to the body or far from the body. Kind of trying both maybe to see which one is most comfortable for you today. And then bringing the hands and doming the back either over the toes or under the legs. So whatever expression of turtle feels best for you today. Breathing into that dome. Breathing into that turtle shell. Imagine that someone is coming and they're massaging that spine in the back. So rubbing it from the top of your shell to the bottom. Breathing in, breathing out. Being the turtle. Being the tortoise. Are you land or sea? Taking a few more yogic breaths in this position, giving the legs a break, giving the back a break. Folding forward from the hips. So stretching those hips. Feeling those hips blossom, just like the spring flowers. And then walking the hands back towards the body. And as we come up into a seated position, we'll have one leg out on a diagonal. So going sideways a little. And then we'll bring the other leg over that leg. And as we sit with one leg straight, and so these toes are kind of pointing towards me or they're straight up. So we're bringing this other knee so that it's straight up. So sometimes it likes to fall to the side, but we're pulling it straight up. And then we're going to bring, I have my right leg up here. You can do either side because we're going to do both sides. And then I'm taking my opposite arm and coming around there and hugging that into my chest. So in asana practice, we massage all the internal organs as well as the outer organs. And my hand is just resting down my thigh. My leftover hand is coming forward and it's going all around, extending these blessings to all living beings and even to my plant friend. And then we're going to plant that hand behind. And so as we plant the hand behind, we feel that twist around the middle, and we're looking at that back shoulder. Pulling that front knee into the body as we twist to the side, and we're wringing out all those worries. We're wringing out all those troubles. Breathing in, hope. Breathing out, worries. Breathing in, hope. And smiling, breathing out, worries. And then we'll raise that one hand behind us, which is kind of hard for me to do, coming around the plant. And here we're receiving all those blessings from all those living beings. And we're going to bring them right into the heart. And we're going to close the eyes and just integrate that. So feel what that's like, what that looks like to receive the blessings from all the other living beings from our global family into the heart. building that petal of hope once again. And then we'll unfurl the legs. So we're going to switch the legs around and place the other leg on a diagonal. And then turn the other leg over that. And I'm going to bring the opposite arm around that knee and hug it up. And then extend my blessings to all living beings. I love you all. And planting that hand in the back. And as we plant the hand in the back, we should feel that twist around the middle. We wring out all the worries on this side of the body. So feeling that those toes in the straight leg, pointing up, hugging the bent leg into the body, into the trunk, looking at the back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out, so we're twisting all the elements of the body. Breathing in and breathing out, and then we're going to bring that back arm up, and we're going to receive all those blessings from all those living beings. And as the arm comes around, we hold the knee, and then we bring those blessings into the heart once again, and close the eyes, and feel that. So there's a little piece of the divine in all those living beings, be they plant, be they animal, be they mineral, be they a human being. So receiving all that in the heart. And then we're going to unfurl the legs once again and cross them up in a position that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to bring one leg up. So the hand might be on one foot, one knee might be on the other leg, doesn't matter which side because we're going to do both. So we're going to rock the baby. So rocking that hip from side to side. Feeling that all the way down to the joint. Listening to that wisdom in the muscles. Feeling that edge of no return. You know, how far should we go to make this user friendly? And then we'll kiss that leg, well, next body. And then bring it down, and then we'll bring the other leg up because it's saying me too. And then we're going to rock the other baby. And you might feel the difference from rocking one side to the other side. And feeling that rocking all the way down to the base of your hip. So feel it cross over and back, over and back. And then we're going to kiss that foot in our dreams and then bring it down. And then we're going to bring the legs, I think we've done this one before, wider than hip width. And we're going to do the rumba or the Roomba as we move the hips from side to side. Bringing that knee down underneath the foot as we rotate or roll the legs from side to side. So when we go to this side, my hip is actually off the ground. Again, the back hip is off the ground. Rocking the hips, rocking the legs from side to side. And then pulling those legs up to center. As we're in the seated position, again, growing the body upwards, throwing the shoulders back, shining the heart. So this time we're going to bring our hands to the shoulders, and we're going to bring them forward and back. Rolling those elbows. And then we're going to roll them backwards. Then we're going to try to kiss them in the front, so bringing them close to each other in the front. And then we're going to alternate them. So as we alternate them, we're twisting our trunk from side to side. I should say our torso, since we're not a bunch of elephants. Twisting the trunk from side to side. And then we'll do a couple of circles backwards. Bringing them towards the front. And if we bring them towards the front, we're going to stop the rotation and open the arms, opening the flowers, since it's spring. Sending the elbows back, shining the heart. And then once again, bring the elbows close to each other, unfurling the hands, making a flower. Another spring flower coming up. The crocuses and the daffodils, and bringing the hands down to the knees. Inhaling, closing the eyes, exhaling. So then we'll come into tabletop on our mats. Hands are shoulder width apart, the knees are hip width apart. And so we'll begin with doing a few cat-cows. So that's inhaling and making that valley in the back, pointing the tailbone towards the sky. And then exhaling, making that dome, and coming back towards the heels. Listening to the knees. Inhaling, coming up, nice long neck. So we don't really look forward with the head. And then exhaling and coming back. So we'll do a few of these at your own pace. Inhaling, pointing the tailbone up, making that valley in the back, long neck. And then exhaling, bringing the chin into the sternum, coming back on the knees. And then we'll do this one more time. Feeling that wave in the back. Pulling that chin way in on the exhale. Coming back into tabletop. So as we come into a neutral tabletop, we'll bring the right knee in towards the elbow and sweep it out behind. In towards the elbow, sweep it behind. We'll do 4 or 5 of these. Swinging the leg out and then bringing it home down to the mat. And then we'll bring the other knee in towards the elbow and out. Inhaling as the knee comes in, exhaling it out. Out, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And we'll bring that knee back home. And then we're going to come all the way down because we're getting ready for Bhujangasana, Cobra. So bringing the hands next to the ears. Coming down into the earth. Breathing in and out, a few yogic breaths. And then on the next inhalation, we'll inhale up bring these arms forward into Sphinx. So in yoga, it's nice to start with something simpler and then to move into more complex if you wish. And exhaling slowly, slowly down, lifting the arms and bringing them to the sides. Breathing in, breathing out. Then on the next inhalation, we'll inhale up, lift those shoulders back, and then once again, we can come up into Sphinx. The springtime sun shines right into the face of the Sphinx. So the Sphinx faces the sun directly. And then exhaling, so as we come down, we lift the arms and we continue coming down, and then we lower the hands into the earth. So we're going to do the cobra a few more times, and you can choose which version you would like to express. So inhaling this time, moving the hands into position, I'm going to come up into the hand-based Sphinx or a cobra. Inhaling and looking straight ahead. Breathing in, breathing out. And then slowly coming down. So you can come down with the face into the mat or turn the face to the side, whichever is most comfortable. And then one more time, we'll inhale, placing the hand or forearm into the earth and rise up from darkness to light. Keeping those elbows close to the body, sometimes they wander away. Breathing in, breathing out. And then once again, slowly, slowly coming down. So then we'll rotate the hands around so they're under the forehead. Breathing in and out. So next we will keep this, I think I'll start with the left arm. Keeping this left arm in an L shape right here, kind of supporting the back so that the back is up, raising the torso up. Then I'm bending the back leg, so we're coming into boat, swimming this same arm as the leg that's bent around and coming into boat. And breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out as our boat is cutting across the waves of the pond or ocean. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll lower that back leg and swim that hand around, and we'll come down on top of both hands under the forehead. Taking a complete yogic breath or two before we try this again on the same side. So we have the right hand, or the left arm I should say, in front in an L position, and the other arm is swimming around at the same time that the back leg is going up. We're making a connection with that leg, or you might be holding on to a piece of clothing, or the hand can be floating or hovering, palms down over the earth. So whichever position is most user-friendly for you. And inhaling up as once again the boat cuts off, crossing the lake. Remembering the last time that you were on a lake, driving around the lake or towards the shore, or seeing the birds around the lake, roosting in the trees. So on the next exhalation, we'll release that back leg, swim that arm around to the front, and place the hands, stacking them on top of each other to support the forehead. Breathing in, breathing out. So now the opposite arm is going to form this L shape in front of the body. We're going to swim the other arm around, bend the knee, and again make contact with that leg. Or hover over the earth, just whatever is most doable for your body. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Taking a few cycles of breath as we enter the boat again and skim over the lake. On the next exhalation, lowering the leg, swimming the arm around, and slowly coming down. Taking a few yogic breaths once again before we come into the boat again. So the next inhalation, rising up, setting up your foundation, swimming the other arm around, bending the knee, coming back into whatever expression you want to do today, and breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm in the San Francisco Bay and I can hear the foghorns this morning. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and on the next exhalation we'll drop that leg once again, swim that arm around, stack the hands, and come down on top of them. A few more yogic breaths here. Inhaling and rising up. Exhaling and swimming both arms around. And we can either stay in this position with the hands hovering over the earth, or you can try to grab both legs, whichever expression is fine. Inhaling, exhaling as the boat comes into the dock. On the next exhale, dropping both legs, swimming both hands back to under the forehead, and lowering down. So now our boats are being tied up. Coming into the dock of the bay. A few more yogic breaths as we can feel the heart beating. Listening to that inner drum. And then we're going to gently move the hands around because we're going to come up into tabletop once again. And as we come into tabletop, we're going to bring the left knee up in between the hands. And this foot will come out to the side a little bit. I'm scooching that opposite leg back as we enter pigeon. So in pigeon, we line the fingers and the knee up. And we come into that pigeon with that full breast and open heart and lungs. Breathing in, breathing out. Remembering that full breast that a lot of the birds will have. And imagining that much air coming into your lungs. Breathing in and breathing out. I think I have a little bird right in front of me right now. And then for the pigeon pose, we're going to walk the hands out. And so you can be up on the knee like this, or you can drop a little part of your glute into the earth, which is also okay. So we want to protect the knees. Walking down on the hands. Walking down on the forearm. Coming down into the earth and breathing into this hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in spaciousness, breathing out tightness. Breathing in and actually visualizing that spaciousness coming into that hip. Breathing out tightness. So just like the tornado that has the ability to move cars around, we're going to embrace that visualization of inhaling in spaciousness. The cars are moving a little bit further apart in our traffic jam in the hips. And exhaling. So breathing into that hip. Imagining that air coming into the hip is rearranging the muscles. Taking a few more yoga breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. And superimposing on top of that breath a visualization of balance. Taking another moment to just be present with the hip. Not judging it, not thinking, oh my God, my hips are tight, but being positive. How do we stay in a positive? What am I going to do to bring balance and harmony to my hips? So once again, we're going to walk those hands towards the knee and line those fingertips up to the knee as we once again are going to breathe with the pigeons. Breathing in, completely filling up that lung. Exhaling. Breathing in again. And exhaling. And then we're going to sweep this knee in, coming back into tabletop. As we find that creaky board for tabletop, we'll bring that other knee forward, close to the hands, and scooch that opposite leg back. So once again, we're going to line up the fingers with the knee and breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. And then we're going to decide, are we going to keep this hip up or are we going to bring it into the mat a little bit, which is fine. So we don't want to stress out the knees on this. This is mostly a hip opener. Don't need to wipe out the knees. So walking the hands out. Breathing into that hip again. So making your asana practice more potent. So when we practice asana, we superimpose the breath in some way in a duet with the movement. Then you can triple potentize your poses by bringing a positive affirmation or visualization in as well. So we're potentizing the asana practice with the breath and that awareness on the breath, and also visualizing inhaling spaciousness, exhaling tightness. So we're imagining the breath circulating through this hip. We're imagining those muscles that are in there being more flexible, being more elastic. How can we imagine that and believe that with the breath? Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in that tornado, it's going to move those traffic jam cars. Exhaling spaciousness as well. Breathing in, breathing out. Being present with the hip and not judging that hip, just making an observation, taking notes. What am I doing to make my hips so tight? How can I do that less? How can I promote more beneficial movements for the hip? So once again, we're going to be walking the hands back to the knee, lining those fingertips up with the knee, bringing ourselves up, and the elbows are slightly bent as we engage that pigeon breath, filling up the lung, exhaling. Inhaling in, exhaling out. And then we're going to engage those hands into the earth, bring that knee back. And then we're going to walk those knees forward and come into a seated position. So then we're going to rest for a minute, inhaling and exhaling, shining the heart. Remembering that we want to distinguish between those thoughts of light and those thoughts of darkness, and discourage those dark thoughts. So we want to keep those thoughts to the sunny side and not overindulge those dark thoughts. How do we remain in the light? So we're going to come down onto the back once again. And while we're on the back, the knees are going to be fairly far apart. The feet are going to be at the edges of the mat, and we're going to do some Roombas while we're in the supine position. Rotating our legs, rocking them from left to right. Roomba to the left, Roomba to the right. So in one hip will come off the ground as we turn from side to side. So then we're going to stop with the knees facing the ceiling. We're going to bring the feet and the legs hip width apart. While we're in this position, we're going to take our left leg and cross that ankle over the right knee. So we're getting ready for thread the needle or figure 4 on the floor. So with the legs in this figure 4, we're going to lift that base leg, take both the hands up like this, and I'm going to taking it right through the eye of the needle, right on the outside of the leg, and interlacing the hands around the knee. Inhaling this leg into the hip. And sometimes we can feel a little bit of burn in that hip again as we're stretching those muscles. So while we're doing this, we'll lift the knee and the foot up, bring it down, bring it up, bring it down, and then we're going to circle the leg. Sometimes my circles are more like squares. Oh dear. So we're circling 3 times to one side, and then we'll change it to the other side. Circling around. And then we'll straighten the leg and maybe do a few ankle circles. And circle the ankle in the other way. Sometimes with that elbow, we can force that leg open a little bit. If this is too much for the knee, then we can interlace the fingers under the knee. So I'm pressing this elbow right into this leg to open that muscle a little bit more. Breathing into that tightness once again. Imagining those ocean waves coming in and loosening those muscles on the exhale breath. Inhale, the breath is going out to sea. Exhale, and the breath is coming into the hip. Setting a visualization on top of that breath. And then we'll straighten up that leg, lowering it down into the mat. Bringing the other leg down. Breathing in and breathing out. So then we'll straighten that left leg and then bring it up to be bent. We'll bend the other leg, and then we're going to take that right leg and have that ankle rest on top of the left knee. Then we're going to lift that foot off the floor, and the hands are parallel again, and one hand is going to go through the eye of the needle, the other hand is on the outside of the leg, and they're going to interlace over the leg. Now if you find your head coming up like this, you need to have a pillow underneath the head so we don't strain the neck. So again, imagining that ocean wave coming in to the hip as we raise that leg up and lower it down. Raise that leg up, so we're distracting the mind from the agony of this pose. And then we'll circle or orbit the lower leg around 2 or 3 times in one direction. And you'll notice that while we're doing this and distracting the mind, this elbow is into this leg, trying to force it open. And then we're going to do the circles around the other side. And then maybe we'll do a few ankle circles in one direction and then the other direction. Some people have problems with left and right. I know my mom did. Coming into the pose, breathing that ocean wave into the hip once again. And then bringing both the legs up to the ceiling and down to the floor this time. So once again, we'll bend the knees, placing the feet pretty close to the edges of the mat. And again, do the Roomba on each side. Turning those hips, turning the ankles and the knees as well. And then we're going to take that right leg out straight, bring the left foot on top of that leg, and with the opposite hand, as this knee that's pointed towards the sky, we're going to bring it over and look back at the hand that we left behind us. Nice Jatara twist. So both the shoulders should be anchoring the body into Mother Earth as we twist to one side. So again, if the head is coming up, we might need a little pillow under the head or a folded up blanket. Feeling this twist in the hips. And then letting the knee relax and come back to the center. We're going to bring both the knees to the center. And then here's the trick to this pose also, is moving the hips to one side as we straighten that other leg. So this hip is off the mat and placing this foot on top of this leg. And with the opposite hand as that bent knee, twisting it to the side once again. So as we twist the leg to this side, we're trying to anchor the body with the shoulders. And once again, we may find that one side of the body twists better than the other side, and the head is turning towards the hand that we left behind. So again, we're twisting those worries out. Relaxing into this twist as much as you can. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then you can hold these Jatara twists as long as you would like in your personal practice. It's a nice twist. And then bringing the leg back, centering yourself on both those hips again, coming down into a Shavasana or deep relaxation for a minute while we breathe in and integrate that pose and how it felt for the body. Just marinating in those yoga asanas that are good for the physical aspect of the body as well as the mental and spiritual. So then I'm going to go get my guitar so that when we're in Shavasana I'm going to sing. So you have a minute to do some other asana. So if there's a pose that you wish we would have done or that your body is inviting you to do, you can do that now. Or you can bring the legs into the chest, the arms up the middle and curl around the outside of the ankles and roll that back and the glutes from side to side. Or you may just want to lay there. So you have 1 minute to do the pose of your choice while I go get my guitar. Then we'll puddle into the earth. Feel all the points where we're in touch with Mother Earth. Feeling all those physical connections. Remembering that in the darkness, I am the light, making choices based on hope. Baba no, hey, be vigilant with your thoughts. Making that choice to remain hopeful, to remain positive, to remain in the light. Remembering that in the darkness, I am the light. Namaskar. Thank you for coming.